So we're, northwest of Fort Collins, Colorado. We're in an area that a couple years ago was on fire, and in a very big way. This was one of the bigger, faster spreading wildfires I think that's ever happened in Colorado. Yeah, we're kind of right in the heart of it right now, and pretty cool to see the trees kind of already establishing themselves, things coming back to life.
Cheers to that, guys.
Cheers.
You know it don't take much to get me by. I was born with the speed I need, and I'll be fine with some Tennessee shine and some Colorado evergreen.
No pressure.
Alright,
But it only really edits like
there's a knife over there by the sausages. Can you take all the casings off the sausages? Okay, if you just cut them and then I'll help you out.
You want to have a spare tie rod for
And then the broccoli is just gonna steam for maybe 5 minutes. Spatula or spoon?
either or.
Sausage is on, broccoli's getting cut, water's starting to boil, and everybody's just chipping in. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
The people, right?
And the skyline here.
Yeah, look at that. The sliver of the moon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, we'll hold up. Alright, you can check it. This one's ready, yeah?
Bryn, what are you doing to that sausage?
Things we can't talk about on camera.
That smells good.
I smell a lot of that.
All right, you're the first one.
I haven't gotten feta yet.
Let's go get some feta.
Yo, back up. I'm not gonna eat on camera, Jason. That's my.
You got to do a taste test.
That's my limit. I will not eat on camera.
The picture is too good right now not to do a taste test.
I'm not gonna be able to get a broccoli in here because they're kind of big. I mean, you can't go wrong with like carbs, meat, and cheese.
Are you attacking how I prepared the broccoli?
Goodness.
Yeah. This will save you in the morning after like 12 beers. So good.
We're like on the backside of a decent mountain, and in a big field. There's a big clearing here.
There happens to be a Frenchie here. It's hard to beat like 50 miles of dirt with some of your best friends.
And it's like it was like fun dirt too. It wasn't just
And also like an educational side of like seeing like a burn scar firsthand rather than like seeing the news of like, oh, Colorado's on fire. So to see it firsthand was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys.
Welcome to the chat.
He's back. Highlights for the day?
Wheeling and then turning around and wheeling back down.
Tomorrow we're fishing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Orvis,
Oh, hello. Welcome to the party.
Heck of a good crew, hell of a good time. Exploring some new spots here in Colorado. They're kind of right under my nose. We're pretty close to Wyoming. You know, we're just south of Wyoming. We're kind of really just north of here is the Wyoming Plains, and so we're kind of in like one of the last little pockets of mountains and trees before you hit kind of this big wide valley, kind of near Laramie. Looking forward to fishing tomorrow.
Heck yeah.
So where do you think, what are you thinking about fishing for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to kind of cruise past a couple tributaries to the Poudre, and we might consider stopping. You know, as we head kind of northwest, we're going to hit an area with a lot of lakes. There's going to be, you know, I think a substantial opportunity for everyone to get into some fish. You know, fishing is never predictable, but we're kind of late peak summer, and it's a great opportunity to fish dry droppers, like hoppers, beetles, ants, you know, stuff that's like really fun, visual eats, you know, no tiny flies that are so hard to see that you're wondering if they got, you know, sucked off the surface. Should be a good time. So, and then as we can continue northwest, I think there's just going to be more opportunities.
Yeah, it's a fantastic spot. I mean, I think we lucked out. I think a lot of the traffic, you know, from Expo probably moved south.
Yeah.
And I think we've got northern Colorado to ourselves.
That's our little video recap.
All right.
Gonna be a good day. We got lots of positive energy, lots of positive people. Gonna be a lot of fun.
now it's clean. Drinking some spin drift, just sending out the vibe.
You look really nice today. Did I tell you that already?
Yeah, you like this shirt?
Yeah. It actually does really look nice.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Genuinely.
This is Orvis's Pro Series. It's very nice on a hot day.
Where are we?
We are at a daily use or day use area near one of the National Forest campgrounds, and this is for hiking and maybe a little bit of like grilling or barbecuing out here. And you got the Poudre River right here, so we're gonna do some fishing.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. So we'll kind of go through the process of setting it up. You may already know kind of the initial steps, but there are a couple little tricks that just make it a little bit more time efficient. We'll pick out some flies that I think are going to work, and we'll just kind of split up along the river here. So yeah, kind of start busting that thing out. 2 tip-top sections and put them together first. Then I take the 2 bottom sections and I'll line them up. And you don't need to, like, you know, force them together. You're just going to give them a nice snug fit. Fly line's always going to be going up. Y'all's reel's already seated, but again, I index it into the reel sleeve slot and then thread the speed lock seat up. Really the best way to thread a fly rod, instead of holding onto the leader, you're going to grab the actual fly line. Make a little, you're going to double it over and make a pinch. I usually set it up on the tailgate, and you're going to want to put the knob up. If you put the knob down, it's going to like jump and bounce all over the place. And then I just thread it with that fly line pinch all the way through the guides. A little bit of a welded loop on the end of your fly line, so it makes it really easy to swap leaders in and out. You know, leaders should typically last you 5, 10 plus, you know, fishing sessions, and so the butt section lasts a pretty long time. Sometimes you end up snipping where maybe a knot is or something like that, and you'll just use your tippet spools to kind of build out the rest of that leader length. The benefit of that 9-foot rod is that once we make the cast out, we do a lot of controlling the drift with the tip of the rod, and a longer rod really makes it a lot easier, you know, manipulating your drift, controlling your fly line. Typically leaders are 7.5 or 9 foot, and what I'll do generally is take that 7.5 foot leader and I'll immediately add, you know, a little bit of tippet. And the way you want to do this is, when you're putting these together, is your leader over the fly line. I make another double over, loop, a bite on itself, and pull it through. All of these kind of are hopper stimulators, kind of stuff that's going to get their attention. Foam's going to help the dropper, which is weighted, float underneath. The Amy's Ant is like one of my favorite flies of all time, probably. This is a chubby Chernobyl, so foam body. We'll kind of start there, you know, and if they're not taking these bigger flies, I'll start to size down. Hey, I'm Davis with Orvis. I'm the Colorado community leader, and we're gonna go catch some fish here.
But I woke up this morning, it was gone. When I start to think about it, you and that verse are the same. You're both gone and damn, it's a shame. Yeah, you're both gone and damn, it's a shame. Today there was a melody in my head. Turns out it was your favorite song by the Dead. When I start to think about it, you and that melody are the same. You're both taken and damn, it's a shame. Yeah, you're both taken and damn, it's a shame. Now you're out partying with strangers and drinking clear liquor on the hood of a car. I should've known that I could never change you. You speak your mind and you follow your heart. Yeah, you speak your mind and you follow your heart.
So typically you just wet your hand, because your hand can like remove the slime off the fish.
All right.
Before you grab the fish. And then when you grab it, I like to grab it and I pinch its dorsal fin between my two fingers like that.
All right.
And you don't really grab, the harder you grab the fish, the more he's gonna wanna roll. There we go, streamer. All right, now put him in the water facing out towards the stream.
Okay.
Just kind of when he's ready, just let him go.
Strangers and drinking clear liquor on the hood of a car. I should've known.
Well, my Strike King lure is working real good today. My Yamaha motor is really propelling me down this lake. Really stoked. If it wasn't for Yeti coolers, I wouldn't be able to do this. Got my popping frog, my wacky worm, my jig and spoon. I don't know, rivers especially are pretty fragile, you know. Being conscientious of the river starts at the campfire, right? Like, we didn't have a fire last night, and the reason being, we know we're in a fragile, you know, ecosystem. It just wouldn't be responsible. Just a couple years ago, there was a huge fire here. I'm standing in like, you know, pure, you know, ash silt combination, and I think a lot of people think that like people are going to clean up after them, you know. I think at rivers too, a lot of people think it's like not just for them. Like, we have to be conscientious of these ladies having a picnic. Like, they have equal rights to the river as we do. You know, conservation is the wise use of natural resources, and these natural resources are for literally everybody. I feel like the same type of ethos is important in the four-wheeling community, because, like, you know, if we abuse it, it's gonna get taken away. There's gonna be less trails, less access, you know. Ooh. Oh, not a fish. Well, we're gonna keep trekking up the river. Seems like we're about to split the group in two. You guys have safe time on the trails, and we'll see you guys at camp here later on.
We're at Bald Mountain. We just left Orvis, Davis from Orvis and the OK 4-wheel drive and IUCAB teams to fish on the Poudre River. Had a really fun time down there. But Ben and Eric and I are going to be traveling the Bald Mountain trail here, rated, I guess, red or difficult trail. We've got a limited amount of time and we need to knock this out. Let's hit the road and see what happens.